The architecture of interstellar politics is rarely built upon the firm foundations of diplomacy. It is a meticulously calibrated, high-pressure web of shadow-aligned leverage, where the survival of a civilization depends not on the might of its fleet, but on the invisibility of its operatives. And in The Shadow Order, the expansive, atmospheric, and lethally paced collection of Michael Robertson's seminal trilogy, the concept of a galactic empire is deconstructed into a cold, tactical instrument of existential warfare. Robertson, the unseen architect of this star-scorched, conspiracy-riddled, and reality-warping odyssey, delivers a visceral, deeply intense, and soul-searing masterpiece that treats the act of espionage not as a clandestine hobby, but as a systematic, reality-anchoring necessity. This isn't a story of whimsical, spacefaring heroics. It is a rapid-fire, deeply intense plunge into the logistical nightmare of maintaining a foothold in a sector where the diplomatic infrastructure itself has a predatory agenda. The perilous collision between a desperate operative's search for order and the absolute unchecked malice of an ancient, order-bound entity that views mortal ambition as a contaminant to its ecosystem. And the terrifying truth that when you join the Shadow Order, you don't just protect the peace, you synthesize a reality-stabilizing buffer against the encroaching, sanity-eroding void. Robertson hooks the audience instantly by constructing a high-stakes, hyper-focused trap. A talented, disenfranchised agent, forced to defend their sector's stability against a series of supernatural invasions, finds themselves bound to a legacy that requires the systematic, tactical manipulation of nature's own unrefined spacefaring power to survive. The narrative center zeroes in on the protagonist's methodical, high-pressure descent into the order stitching, a state of hyper-rational, morality-infused perception that forces them to parse the fundamental, reality-rewriting intent of their agent-aligned magic. As they traverse the oppressive, smoke-choked lanes of the capital and the dangerously shifting, memory-saturated ruins of the galaxy's borderlands, they realize that their duty is not merely a service provision. It is a systemic catalyst that is drawing the attention of the Chaos Bringers, entities that hunt those who dare to master the order that consumes reality. The investigation into the sudden, coordinated disappearance of the sector's most skilled truth-seekers quickly escalates into a dangerous, high-stakes tactical chess match, as they discover that the entire diplomatic structure has been covertly funded by the very darkness they are working to keep at bay. Forced to juggle the logistical nightmare of managing a rapidly decaying, reality-bending research project, the constant suffocating threat of archival erasure, and the mounting, undeniable encounter with the cost of their own burgeoning power, they must synthesize a new way of existing, one built on tactical linguistics, radical, improvised insurrection, and an unyielding, purely human refusal to let their truth be redacted by the galaxy's relentless, physics-enforcing machinery. Robertson's writing is unapologetically rhythmic, machine-gun fast, and saturated with an intense, authentic blend of interstellar arcane jargon, sharp, cynical, intellectual wit, and high-stakes environmental dread. He builds exceptional structural tension by pairing the mundane, aching routines of survival, cross-referencing tactical manifestos, deciphering forbidden, history-aligned texts, and enduring the quiet, crushing weight of constant, vigilant isolation with the chaotic, nightmare-filled assaults of the galaxy's truth-guarding enforcers. The story moves forward with a relentless, momentum-driven energy, turning routine analytical probes, calculated maneuvers through the city's secret, plasma-filled basements, and tense, high-stakes standoffs with lethal, logic-warping figures into pulse-pounding steps closer to an inevitable, reality-defining confrontation. The presentation thrives on this sharp, analytical focus, making every discovered anomaly, every executed reality stabilization command, and every deep-seated fear confronted feel like a high-stakes victory for the human spirit. What makes The Shadow Order an exceptional entry in the modern space opera canon is Robertson's unparalleled ability to develop a highly compelling, logic-driven operative whose cognitive discipline is treated as a supreme navigational asset rather than a tragic fading memory. Watch as they transform their experience with obscure, power-bound data into a compass, learning to navigate the chaotic heavens to outmaneuver a power that operates with absolute, terrifying precision. As the structural walls of their reality begin to collapse and the true scope of the shadow danger is exposed, the pacing transforms into a breathless, heart-pounding race to maintain the shred of truth they carry before their consciousness is permanently unstitched by the Empire's relentless, physics-enforcing machinery. The final act is an absolute masterclass in suspense, delivering a barrage of explosive realizations, shattered paradigms, and a spectacular, jaw-dropping climax that completely leaves the reader thoroughly stunned. For fans of thrillers demanding a brilliant, character-driven, and masterfully paced exploration of physics and interstellar imperialism, this collection delivers an